Um, so as part of like kind of just to give an example of some of the one of the success stories of Firewise communities and coming together as a community towards wildfire mitigation, I've got some of these slides from the Rebuild Paradise Foundation. So think back. So back in 2018, Paradise, California suffered I think it's called the Park Fire, where the fire devastated their whole community. I think it was like the most, might have been the deadliest wildfire in the state's history. They had before the fire, their population was about 26,000, was at about 26,000 residents. After the fire, it dipped down to below the 2,000 residents. One of the biggest issues was people who were staying in that area were unable to get insurance for their home, or it was astronomical that they just couldn't afford to stay in that community. But since then, they've taken action over the past few years to come together as a community to build Firewise districts to make sure that their properties are mitigated and their population is steadily growing, and so much that they're the fastest growing town 3 years in a row. And they accomplished this by a few different ways. So they spearheaded the first Firewise community in Paradise, California. They're now at over 18 communities over there. They created a grant program to provide grants for defensible space improvement, created master floor plans, evacuation maps, advocated with the state capital and insurance companies, basically coming together as a community, working towards a common goal to make sure that insurance can be affordable and they can stay, and those insurance companies can still afford to be in that community. So what they did was they took a look in 2023 and they saw their insurance rates skyrocketing and they needed to take action. So it looks like over 600% increase in some policies they were noticing. And the biggest issue that they were seeing from insurance companies was that 0 to 5 foot non-combustible zone zero that's being emphasized a lot these days, especially, there is legislation that has been already passed a few years ago with that 0 to 5 foot space. And from what I understand, in the near future, they're going to start enforcing that. But basically, in their community, that was kind of the biggest issues. So what they did, as I'd mentioned, is they created a non-combustible zone gravel grant program where homeowners could apply for grants with their community, apply that towards the 0 to 5 foot in their home, and help with the insurability process. So looks like it was like I think it was like a $500 voucher. It says each homeowner would apply it to their zone zero, 10 yards of base gravel. And as a result, you can see over 216 residents by 2014 had taken advantage of that program, going with their defensible space. And what happened next was, oh, let me stop this video. So what happened next was they were able to, because when they were trying to get insurance with their community, each homeowner was doing their own thing. They had mitigation efforts and everything, but they wanted the insurance companies to take a look at the whole effort for their community. So they were able to get the CEO of Mercury Insurance and the insurance commissioner to come toward their area and take a look and see what they've been working towards. And for homeowners who were unable to get policies in the last couple of years, they were able to get policies from Mercury Insurance that very same day. And some of those homeowners who participated in that gravel grant program were some of the first to start receiving affordable policies with their insurance company. And I want to point out this case study, which is one of their examples that they provide in their presentation, where this home, they lost their home in 2018 to the campfire. After they rebuilt in 2022, their homeowner's policy was about $4,663. In 2023, it skyrocketed over 300%, up to $21,000. They were able to kind of revise that, be part of a Firewise community, reduce that to about $9,000. They went on the California Fair Plan at about $7,400. But now this year, they got their new policy with Mercury. They're only paying $993 for their insurance policy within that community that lost everything, that burned down in 2018, and they were able to come back and grow and get insurance rates at a reasonable rate by kind of working together as a community and working towards a common goal. So, this may be like, an extreme example, but it just kind of shows out there what can be achieved when everyone comes together as a community and works towards that goal. So